I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Mama Bedlam is here. Hi.
Hello, hi, hey howdy.
Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, my name is Mama Bedlam. Been doing VTubing for, I'll just say, since the start of the pandemic. Despite starting in like mid-2021, there was a lot of setup. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I try to do things consistently, despite being in a soft hiatus at the moment, to just get things in order.
Right. Yeah. Well, you got things. You got things going on. You got things going on.
I've got stuff cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe I can get you to talk about that a little bit later. It depends on how the rest of the interview goes. I'm going to do my best, folks, to try and pry out all the information.
Trying to pry information out of a fixer is a dangerous game. But let's see.
I don't know. I'm told I can BS my way through a lot of stuff. That's how I got married. The YouTube VTubing itself. How did you get started and why?
So it might be a little weird to say it out loud, but like part of me started because I was already streaming. I was doing like the standard, like, not always webcam, but bare minimum, like I was making stuff. Started with a laptop that constantly crashed on me and moved up nowadays to a computer that if anything happens to this, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Out of the frying pan into a bigger fire.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the person actually, because I knew about VTubers for like a year or two. I'd been following Hololive and Kazuna Eye. I actually, to my immediate left, I have a big ass figure shelf and a Kazuna Eye like vinyl figure that I won in like a Japanese claw game is like right there.
How much money did you spend to get that one?
0.
Oh, really? You didn't have to empty your pockets for it?
The service I was using, which I don't know how much you care about me saying specific app names or whatever.
Go ahead.
It's a game called Toreba, Toreba, I believe. And it allows you to remotely play claw games of varying kinds. Usually the normal, like, I guess Sega UFO catcher style. Which is you press one button to go left and right, or you press the button to go right and then stop going right, and then you press the button to go up and then you stop going up, and you try to get it at just the right position. And I won that Kazuna Eye based on dumb luck.
That's the best luck to have.
And like this ain't sponsored or nothing, but like I spent some money on it, and after a while they just started giving me free tickets.
Yeah.
I guess after a specific amount you become like a premium account or whatever.
That's cool. Actually, I'm surprised that more people aren't going for that, because people
a lot of people were like right before and at the start of the pandemic.
Yeah, I would think it would. But so you got started eventually. What made you get started, though? I mean, something had to turn on some switch.
Yeah, no. So like I was aware of VTubers, but I didn't realize that was something you could just do without like corporate backing.
Yeah.
And like full transparency, anyone that knows me, clearly I've never worked a corp. We take a little pride in that ourselves, although I have a soft spot for some.
Yeah.
But of all things, my ex, she started VTubing while I was doing regular streaming. And was like, yeah, no, VTubing is like really cool. You should do it. And I'm like, I should. And then I talked to my friend who I believe goes by Kurt.
Okay.
Um, and they were like, "Yeah, no, I'll make like a PNG for you." And then one day I had met another VTuber. I think it was through one of my mods
Yeah.
who who was like, "Oh, I like what you're doing." And their model mama had found me
Oh.
and just randomly gifted me a Vroid back when that was like brand new.
Yeah.
Um, and I just started working with that. And I worked with that for like a couple of years, and we did like a couple of revisions. And after a while, I'm like, this Vroid thing's really fun to fuck around with in the background, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna start making my own models. So I started doing it with model commissions for other people,
Oh.
and eventually moved on to my own. And now we are almost completely self-made now.
Yeah.
Want to say 2 years from now?
You're
Coming
you're
up on three?
you're almost a completely self-made mama.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's so it seems like a lot of these things you weren't even looking for, and they found you.
Yeah, that's a massive part of why I stuck around because it's like, could some of it have been like initial VTuber, like indie VTuber boom?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot of people being like, I need practice for my portfolio, or I just really like seeing what you're doing. And like, as an indie VTuber around that time, it was way easier to get discoverability in my experience.
Hmm.
So like a bunch of people just find me. Um,
So you were just being yourself, and people people were coming in and giving you feroids. That's that's
VTubing found me.
it didn't even know what it was looking for, and then it found you. Uh,
And and again, I already thought VTubing was sick as hell.
yeah.
So like the instant I'm told, "Hey, you person with no corporate backing or budget, you can just do it." And I'm like, "The fuck you mean I can just do it?" And they're like, "Yeah, do it though."
Yeah. Yeah. You really have no choice now. You have to do it. They're giving you all the
I've
stuff.
stuck with it this long.
Yeah. Now, was it easy for you to jump in when once you had all this put together?
Once everything was set up, it was pretty smooth sailing. A
Yeah.
lot of it was like acclimating to, I guess, the culture when the culture around VTubing was getting like the indie VTubing scene was
Mm.
very different when I started. It is dramatically different now.
I
And
imagine.
as much as things change, they stay the same,
Mm.
good and bad.
Yeah.
But like, it's really just acclimating to a new environment.
Mm.
But since it was already streaming adjacent and streaming was what I was kind of doing out of necessity,
You stuck with it, and it's has it continued to grow? Have you been able to pull that audience in since you started?
absolutely. And it's like, I might not be hitting goals exactly as fast as I'd like, but I am hitting them
Mm.
consistently. Things like, for example, I'd never expected to see a comma in my Twitter following. And then that just happened while I was at a convention, and I'm like, okay.
Whoa, wait a second
It,
here.
it like like I started VTubing and I had like 400 followers like to start because I'd just been on Twitter like shit posting all day,
Yeah. It,
or like that's how I got my news for a while.
yeah.
It was easier to find news through that and like sift through multiple things. Either way, like I was already on Twitter, so I like amassed an audience by just, I guess, being moderately funny online.
Again,
And
it's more finding you again.
I suppose. Yeah, no. So I'm like, all right, I have this like small community on Twitter. I'm gonna just start streaming as like a hobby. Um, because like my schedule got suddenly extremely free around then, and I
Mm.
was looking for jobs, and I'm like, well, streaming feels like a hobby that like is kind of work adjacent.
Hmm. And you can, if you get big enough, you can make enough to keep most of your bills paid.
Yeah,
Well. So has that happened
Bare
for you yet?
minimum. Sadly, no, but
Mm,
we do take the silver lining
hmm
of I am, for example, not to brag, hitting payouts more frequently
Hey,
or having successful sponsors.
that's good. That's underrated. I haven't really talked about that with people on the interviews yet. Um, that sponsorships can get you, and I know I know from the old radio business that you want to have the right type of sponsors, and you don't want to get associated with some people that aren't particularly good people. But that is a pretty good source of income if you can get it going.
Oh yeah, and then there's like the occasional company where you work for them, and then like after your relations are already done, like a detail gets found out,
Mm,
and you're like, I feel like I don't need to say anything
hmm
if I just never talk about them or work with them again.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But if it's all you're talking a lot about marketing, really, and that's a big thing that some VTubers don't realize is that once you get into the point where you want to expand your business, and it is a business at that point,
Mhm.
expand your audience, you have to market yourself somehow, or otherwise, uh, unless of course you're Mama Bedlam and they all come to you, you do
I
have to
just learned how to do things sometimes.
you have to go out and advertise to the people. Otherwise, they're just not going to know, or they're not going to care enough.
And I would actually like to jump off on that. Like sponsorship specifically,
Hmm
it's not as hard as you think to find them. You actually rarely even have to talk to anyone. Um, there's a million sites, like for example, I've been using Stream Elements for years now,
hmm
and if you just click the right buttons on there, you can set up getting sponsorship offers, and then you get to pick and choose, and then they'll like tell you what they need, and you rarely have to talk to anyone, which for my anxious ass, helpful.
the less you have to deal with the people at the company, the better. And as long as the check cashes, that's what
Oh
I'm,
yeah, no.
I come from the media. I was 35 years in the media business, and believe me, the M in media means mooch.
Hmm.
We will take
No, that's actually. Oh, sorry.
no, we took anything. T-shirts that don't fit, don't care. It's free, it's mine.
That's how I've felt doing like public events. It's like occasionally you'll get merchandise from like one of the people who put money towards the event
Yeah,
and it doesn't fit, but like, am I really gonna dispute free?
yeah, that's right.
Am I really gonna do that right now?
Yeah, yeah. I tell a truthful story that people don't believe. When I was a bachelor in radio, I once lived on 3 days on peanuts that were free at the radio station. It's They were free.
I did something similar
Yeah,
at
so
one of my previous places of employment.
yeah, I mean
Uh,
it's got
it
protein.
was a little less healthy than peanuts though. Because there was a spirit week for the company, and
Yeah,
they're like, we're gonna give the workers like treats and stuff. And like, I was broke as shit.
yeah.
So it's like, I guess dinner tonight is a pack of wild berry Skittles,
You
but
you
it's free.
you got the spirit. whatever whatever works in the storm, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, is it food? Okay, it's mine.
It's like paydays tomorrow. I have $5 in my bank account that I do not want to spend.
Yeah,
Allow me to just eat this bag of wild berries.
that's right. That sounds like a good, healthy, nutritious dinner. It's got all of the food groups, sugar.
Mhm.
Absolutely. The So what now are you streaming once you do get online? What's a Mama Bedlam stream like?
Like, as in, what are the current things on the docket?
Yeah. Yeah, what are
Or,
you doing right now with it?
at the moment, I'm not sure how familiar you are with, like, the term Let's Play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um, the thing I initially started doing on my channel was there was a YouTube channel I loved, and then they like split up
Hmm.
after like I think 8 years,
Oh,
give or take. I think it was actually closer to 10, but 8 was like how long they were doing their podcast.
yeah.
But I was but it was Two Best Friends Play slash Super Best Friends Play.
Hmm.
I loved what they made, and I loved watching specifically LPs because it's like, oh, are they playing Yakuza 3? Are they playing Bloodborne? Are they like it was something I could be like, oh shit, they're starting this now. And it was like tuning into a TV show every day.
Right.
And there was this atmosphere that I loved, and I'm like, I kind of want to see if I can replicate that those emotions that this channel gave me
Yeah. Yeah.
somewhat alone.
Yeah.
Um, Mostly because I didn't feel right relying on people I couldn't, like, even if they were friends, people I couldn't pay. So, like, the occasional collab, like, back in the day, I did a Silent Hill 2 Let's Play, with my friend Cody, and, um, like, that was technically a collab,
Oh yeah.
but
Are you doing
that was
collabs
just
now,
having a
or
friend over.
are you doing?
Um, Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead. Are you doing them now?
When I can, I'm trying
Mhm.
to do them more frequently.
Hmm. Is it tough for you to find someone who you trust enough to hand over part of the channel to?
Partially that, but partially also, and this sounds shitty to say out loud,
Uh,
but roll with me here.
yeah, we're going for it. Go ahead.
Um, there was like a period for like half a year one where like every time I did a collab, it would consistently be one of my worst performing streams that month.
Mhm.
And I don't know what caused that. That's not the case much anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's very
Um,
tough to get, even if you've got a popular streamer and a not, and someone who doesn't have the big audience. Even if you got two people who are the same type of streamers mostly, it just doesn't work sometimes. It just
yeah.
it just isn't it, even if you have fun during the stream between you and the other person, or any type of work for that matter,
Mhm.
it may not work for anybody else. And that's the name of the game, unfortunately.
And this is important sometimes, like to the person listening to this, do not take this as if this happens, quit, but like in the occasion that you have a stream that just bombs,
Hmm.
you're gonna have to factor that in as something that could happen.
Yeah.
Whether or not it does depend on what you do with that information. Some people freeze up because that means that like, oh no, it's inherently a little random.
Yeah.
Um, or just like I understand just having a bad week as far as numbers go, but like you gotta knuckle through it. It sucks, but you really gotta.
Yeah. And it's you own it. It's if something doesn't work right, you just own it and go on to the next thing. It's 'cause
Or you're me and don't know when to quit.
yeah. Well, yeah.
There was a year, like a solid year, that I would get two people per stream
Yeah.
after I had been used to half a year of like 10 people.
Yeah.
That was humbling.
Oh. Well, I mean, but you stuck with it, didn't you?
I stuck with it, and I get relatively healthy streams for someone my size.
Yeah. And again, you've expanded. You've got other ways for folks that can contact you and watch what you're doing. It
Mhm.
sounds to me you got a pretty good plan scheduled, um, and I don't see why you won't expand further in the future.
I'm hoping to.
Yeah. Is there anything that you
Uh,
haven't done yet on stream that you'd like to?
um, Cooking, honestly.
Ah,
I genuinely just don't have the room for it
uh-huh.
or like the setup for it.
Yeah.
Um,
What would be your first dish?
That's a good ass question.
Frozen.
Now that you've put it in my head,
My suggestion is
you
frozen
gotta start
pizza.
simple, right?
That's about the extent of my cooking is frozen pizza. There you go. Uh,
Frozen pizza's good, and I can doll one up.
oh yeah, folks. That's another thing people need to do is just because it says sausage and pepperoni doesn't mean you can't add things to it.
That just means it has sausage and pepperoni when you get it.
Right.
That doesn't mean you can't add another layer of cheese
Right.
or crushed red pepper or Parmesan.
Or onion powder or garlic powder or anything like that.
Oh, garlic powder on the crust is amazing.
Yeah, we put onion powder on ours. It's got an interesting
I don't
taste
think I've
to it.
ever tried that.
Yeah, it's different. That's the best way I can describe it. It has its own taste, but yeah, we put that on there. It really does bring some more of the taste out, and or the Italian seasoning herbs and stuff you can put on there, of course. But
Italian seasoning is a lifesaver.
yeah, but
Uh, especially with like I get these little frozen like Italian food meals. You get them for like 10 for 10.
yeah, yeah.
Um, if you just take any of those like pasta dishes they have and just like crushed red pepper and Italian seasoning in them,
hmm
sometimes a little garlic salt,
hmm
you got a stew going.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It no longer tastes like $1 Italian food.
And yeah, the ones that you can get for $1, they're $1 for a reason. Um, but if you just you know, I call it tarting it up.
Hmm?
You tart it up a little bit, and there you go. It's ready for the dance.
Oh, fair enough. No, it took me a second, but no, absolutely.
It really just a few of these things you don't have to you know even like spaghetti sauce. You get spaghetti sauce in a jar. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with it if you like it, but you throw some stuff into it, and now you got a personalized spaghetti sauce.
It could always use a little more cheese.
hmm Cheese or
Bare minimum.
again, garlic or onion powder or mushrooms or chicken nuggets.
I've never considered chicken nuggets, but as a replacement for meatballs, hang on.
hmm Works.
You might be onto something.
Well, little chicken nuggets and Parmesan cheese on top of it. There you go. Your it's your low rent chicken parm.
Oh, if you want low rent chicken parm, what you do is if you have a toaster oven or an air fryer,
Got air fryer.
preferably a toaster oven so that you can like have a tray in there.
hmm
I know that the air fryer has the basket, but the tray is just easier.
Oh yeah.
And you if you take it can either be chicken strips or chicken tenders, it doesn't really matter.
hmm
And then a little bit of pasta sauce on top
Okay.
and some mozzarella cheese. Bonus points if you are using a cheese stick.
Mm. Okay.
And then 2 spots of pepperoni.
That sounds delicious.
And you just cook it to whatever the chicken needs to be cooked to.
hmm
I made that 12 beers down, not needing to be operating kitchen equipment. And I had it and I about cried. And then I had it when I was sober. And I'm like, you're onto something.
So that's how your cooking show will be. You should call it 12 beers down cooking.
12 beers or 12 bowls.
There you
To
go.
be.
Either way, it
It wouldn't be a Mama Bedlam stream if I didn't start it a little high.
that's so what is your goal for the channel now that you got things under your feet on the ground here, you got some momentum, um you've managed to pull yourself out of a little bit of a pit with it. What do you want to do with it?
At the moment, I kind of like, because right now Twitch is scary. Twitch is looking a little perilous,
Hmm.
just like in how reach is working. Granted, uh, there has been recent good news. More people have been watching smaller streamers, which I'm hoping that means what I think it means,
Hmm.
and that I might have a shot.
Yeah.
But like, I'd prefer to be realistic about it. Bare minimum, I want this to be a thing I can consistently do. I want to consistently be bringing a community. I want to eventually be bringing more of a community together, um, which I already have, but like the more the merrier, especially when you're an entertainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that something? Did you always
Um,
want to be an entertainer?
I don't know about always, but for pretty much as long as I can remember,
No.
I have had my sights set on some form of entertainment.
Yeah. Were you a drama kid?
School didn't have a drama program, sadly.
Oh, so no theaters for you?
I was in AP art.
Oh, well, there you go. That's something. But
Hmm.
yeah, but you had it. You really kind of wanted to be up in front of an audience.
I don't know about in front of, but definitely within earshot.
As long as they look the other way, I'm perfectly fine. Yeah.
There is a part of me that is glad that setup for stream for me is opening a bunch of programs and hoping they don't kill each other, essentially.
Yeah, which doesn't always work. Anybody who does anything on the internet can tell you it doesn't always work, even when it's supposed to.
I have to open OBS and say in administrative mode every time
Oh,
now.
oh no.
And
Yeah.
I've tried to fix it. I don't know what the problem is. All
Mm,
I know is that the problem is fixed by running it in administrator mode at all times.
you just MacGyvered it. That's all. It still works.
Yeah, yeah. No, so much of this setup is like, would you like to know what I use for a light, despite having a ring light right there?
What do you do?
I took one of these little things from it was either the clearance section of a hardware store or like a Five Below. Uh, Found this little thing. You plug it in, and it's like a triangular clamp with a lamp contact just bolted onto the side of it. And I screwed in one light bulb, took a pipe cleaner, put it around the spiral of the clamp, and just stuck a sticky note where I tied up the pipe cleaner
Yeah,
so that I created some light diffusion.
that's genius.
We work with what we have, and I had pipe cleaners, something I bought for definitely less than $5, and a light bulb. Uh, and sticky notes I already had lying around.
We're
Uh,
gonna call you Mama MacGyver now.
that'll be like the fifth nickname.
Just the ones we can mention anyway. This-
I
hey,
mean, you got your favorite's favorite Cabamama. You got
yeah.
the Fixer Queen of Dotonbori. We have, bitch. We have the inter. This is one person's word, but it always stuck with me being called the internet cigarette mom.
Oh no.
I'll take it.
Uh,
I'll take it. That's an honor.
but you don't have the Paul Mall voice.
Not yet. Well, no, that's because I smoke camels. Um, to be fair, and Lucky's.
Yeah.
Menthol keeps your voice. No, it doesn't. Do
Yeah.
not take that as advice.
The opinions of the guest are not exactly opinions expressed by anybody.
Menthol cough drops, however,
Yeah.
actual advice, very good. I
Yes.
recommend keeping a candy dish of them.
Yes. Don't eat them every day though.
Oh no, 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 no.
No, it's
Even like when I'm doing scare acting seasonally, it's not every night
mm,
that I work. It is like twice a weekend.
mm, yeah. Yeah, there's always, it sounds like to me you're a very resourceful person. And that you
Growing up in poverty, you kind of have to be.
yeah. Yeah, but it sounds like I can give you two sticks, and you'll come up with something that people will buy for $200.
Just gotta nail down how to get marketing working.
Mm.
I could just sell the two sticks as they are, probably.
Listen to that mind where I can hear the gears from here.
Two sticks. Never know when you need two sticks. Get your two sticks for the price of two sticks.
Not available in California and Texas.
Oh, it causes cancer
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Uh, yeah, I really appreciate you coming. It's such a pleasure talking with you. This flew by. Can we get you back on again sometime?
Absolutely. I'd love to be on again.
I appreciate it.
Especially since I feel very bad that you didn't actually get to answer or ask that many questions.
That's okay. It's more of a talk than it is an interview anyway, and
That's fair.
and I think people found out more about you with that than any questions I was going to ask anyways. Um,
Mhm.
Folks, check out what Mama Bedlam's got to offer. We're going to have the links in the description for the interview, and hopefully Mama Bedlam will have you on again soon.
Yeah, no, just ask.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.